Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we have another sewing video, crafting video. So like I said in my last video, I have an event coming up for Juneteenth and I want to make a dress for it. All of my material is not here, but we're gonna get started with it anyways, just so that it could just be an easy process once the last part of my materials come, because those won't be so hard to put on. That being said, um, if you saw my TikTok, you would see that this is going to be a more fringe like dress. And I'm going to be using this old bodysuit that I bought a long time ago for it. The original plan was to use a mesh bodysuit, but I figured that that wouldn't work as much. So what I am going to do is cut this up so that it can fit a little bit more. Um, because right now, while it does fit now, it doesn't give like a kind of like a shapewear. It's more of just a bodysuit, and I want it to be more of like a shapewear type style, if that makes sense. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to cut it up and use parts of this chiffon that I had originally used for my beaded bra, which I never finished. I'm still working on that. Because I want it to be, I still want to show a little bit of skin with this. And so my original plan for this is that I am going to cut the back so that it can be a low back, and I am going to cut the sides so that the sides will be shown or sewn, replaced with this mesh. Okay, so my idea, I got this idea from, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but it was when Doja Cat did a festival in South Africa, and she had the South African flag in the form of a dress, and I really liked the way the fringe looked, so I wanted to do that a for the African American Heritage flag. I originally wanted to make this dress, but I wanted to make it like a birthday dress, so make it all black. But I wanted to add more color, so I thought the best way to do it would be to use the African American Heritage dress. I mean flag. And I like that because I prefer those colors. Because those are colors that I would usually wear typically on a day to day. So let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we're going to do is cut out and shape the bodysuit. Yeah. Okay, so I have finished the sides, and I kind of messed up a little bit because I finished the sides, right? But now I have to do the front. And the front, yes, the front is okay as is, but I want it to have kind of it look like breast cups. So I wanted to reconstruct it so that it looked like bra cups rather than a tank top, if that makes sense. So now what I'm going to do is plot plot out what I have to do so that this can look more like a corset rather than a bodysuit. That being said, after that, I will take this in. I believe I'm going to take the sides in about an inch. and make a dart because it is kind of protruding or like sticking out. So that is the plan for now. Once I have finished that, my next goal is to cut and add this rhinestone chain situation to the base of basically all of the opaque parts. All of the opaque parts and maybe some of the transparent parts will get this rhinestone chain situation. Now I was supposed to get this in gold. One of them is in gold, but this one is in silver. It's supposed to be in gold because the colors are red, gold, and black. But I'm hoping that if I can combine them all together, um, the silver won't show that much, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, right now we're gonna focus on making bra cups for this bodice. Let's get to it. So real quick before I go to work, I just wanted to show you the base on. I did not sew this area. I had to resew it, but the base is on. I do like the way it looks. So the next thing we have to do, and I'm probably going to add like a couple straps here. The next thing we'll have to do is add fringe down the sides, add the sparkles as well, and then add the rhinestones on the side. But that will probably be for a couple days from now. So, yeah. Okay, so finally, after some days, I finally finished the base of the suit, bodysuit. So now it's time to design it. And we're going to start off with putting on the black pieces. And I am going to put the black pieces it's kind of straightforward, but putting the black pieces along the front, just to outline, of course, the lines on the suit. Now, because this is a stretchy suit, I will have to cut it out and make it a little bit longer than what it needs to be because it stretches. My only dilemma is do I sew it on, right? Or do I glue it on? I might end up sewing it on. I know it's going to take a long process, but I think sewing it on would be the best outcome considering that it'll be able to move and it won't break when I put this on. But yeah, that's the first step. And then after that, we are going to get into adding the rhinestones on the chiffon part. And hopefully by the time this is all done, my fringe will come in and all I have to do is attach that and be done. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So I've realized I've gotten myself into a pickle by doing this not so late, but quite late. That being said, I have started a little bit with the left side of the dress. And the process that I'm doing is basically just going row by row by row. I have it sectioned out by edge, middle, or it's not really the middle, but middle, and then I will do the same here and the edge over there. The only problem is this is very tedious. It's coming out very nice and I do like it, but it's also very tedious. So I know I'm going to be able to get it done by the due date. I just need to stop procrastinating on things like this because of how tedious it is. But that being said, um, I'll do a quick update after about a couple more hours. And because this is going to be the last video for May, I may not show everything. But of course, I'm going to make a second video putting on the fringe part. So yeah, this is what we have right now. I also have this belt that I have never used. Um, so what I am going to do is I'm going to take off some of these stones and sew them on as well, just to give a little bit more definition to certain parts of it. I was going to use it to kind of make a detail in the middle, because if you've seen the African American heritage flag, there's like a sword and then a half reef situation going on, but I couldn't really figure out a way to do that so that it looks nice. So I just decided that I'm just going to add rhinestones of different sizes. So it has rhinestones. Let's see if it can focus. I don't think it can. But it has the rhinestone chains, some beads, and it also has some pearls on here. I think towards the middle. Yeah, so it has a couple of pearls. So I'll just snip them off and add it to this, and then see where it goes. Yeah. So far, this is what we have. I didn't get that far today because I kept falling asleep. But that being said, tomorrow I will finish this up, and hopefully by the next episode the next video, the whole thing will be done. I'm just doing the opaque pieces, so it shouldn't take long, but we'll see what happens. That being said, that will be the end of this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.